Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you my 4 best bets for tomorrow's racing. Now before we get stuck into those, I just got a couple of announcements to make. First of all, I will be recording Loaders Lane to Cheltenham tomorrow. I'll be recording the second episode, so watch out for that. That'll probably be up sometime tomorrow evening, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and you'll get a notification when that's up. So yeah, like I said, if you're not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, please remember to hit that subscribe button. Also as well, I just quickly want to recap on how our selections performed today. In the end, it was a disappointing day after a promising start, as we did turn up with a winner with our first selection at Yarmouth. The John Gosden horse we put up, Marrakesh Moon, was a nice winner in the end for Rab Havlin and John Gosden, and got the job done and won quite comfortably in the end and drifted out 5-2, so that was a nice start there. However, things went downhill after that. The Napa thought he had every chance. Stallone, he finished in 4th place, and it just wasn't to be for him today. So yeah, a little bit frustrated there. Then I thought the one that I was most annoyed about today was So I Told You for Pat Dobbs and Richard Hughes. And I'm not normally one to criticise jockeys, but I just think the way the race was run for that filly, it never suited her at all. I was really disappointed that they didn't try to make the run-in with her as she'd done, especially from last year at Nottingham when she made all from the front on testing ground, and I'm surprised that they didn't want to try and use her stamina for good effect from being from the front on ground. Like I said, she absolutely relishes. So yeah, I was disappointed there with the performance, and also as well, she was boxed in against the rail at a crucial point when she was still, when it looked like anyway, she was still full of running, and then once she has come and make her move and get switched out, that was it, game over, as the two fillies were able to get ahead of her at that point and just cement their advantage. So yeah, it was disappointing there with So I Told You. And Anna of Lorraine, no excuses. She got in a good position early on under Holly Doyle, but in the end, maybe she just lacked the speed for the 5 furlongs. Maybe she is a 6 furlong specialist. But yeah, disappointing day in the end after what looked like it might be a promising day with our winner, and all the money was down with our selections today. You know, you can't say that they were none backed. So yeah, it's just one of those days, and it's been one of those spells as well. October hasn't really been a fruitful month for us. It's been quite a dry spell. We've only been having the odd winner here and there, but a lot of our horses have been giving us a good run for our money, but that's still not good enough, because obviously I want to give you guys winners, and I get frustrated when we don't get winners. But it's all a long-term game, you know, and we only need a few good days this month, which I'm hopeful that we will get soon, and then we'll be back up in profit again. So fingers crossed we can get back on it tomorrow and have some winners. And we're going to be starting tomorrow with my first tip of the day for a bit of jumps action in the 12:45 at Hereford with a horse called Arty Campbell. Now this horse you can currently back it at 8-1 each way, and there's 4 places on offer with Paddy Power and also as well Betfair. Now I'm going to put this horse up as my extra tip tomorrow, and I thought this was quite a big price really. He's short with other firms, but there was the 8-1 out there at the current time of recording. It's just before 6:30, and this Arty Campbell, he's a dual purpose horse. He's trained by Bernard Llewellyn, and a conditional jockey who's attached to the yard, Robert Williams, is claiming a handy £3 off the horse's back, and I think that can definitely come in handy tomorrow. As if you actually look at this horse, like I said, he's a dual purpose horse. He's been running on the flat and the jumps during his career and done fairly well on both codes, and he's been in a good vein of form of late. But if you look at some of his hurdles run, his hurdle runs and his last 2 hurdle runs, he's been running okay. He had a 4th place finish at Newton Abbot and then a 3rd place finish at Foss Lass, even though yes, the form of that Foss Lass run hasn't worked out particularly well. Uno Mas for Christian Williams was stuffed last week when a short price favourite. I just don't think that horse particularly handled the conditions that day. But nonetheless, you know, Arty Campbell, he has been running very well. And if you go back through his form, he's actually fairly well treated now. He actually won at this course and distance off a mark of 100 on his only start here a couple of years ago. And I actually remember putting him up that day when he won. Dickie Johnson was aboard that day. And he's now dropped down to a mark of 99, so he's £1 below that winning mark. And with the £3 of Robert Williams coming into the equation, and you take all that off, he's basically running off a mark of 96, and I think he's got a good chance in this race tomorrow. There's going to be a lot in here that will probably need the run. There could be a little bit of rain around tomorrow. It won't probably be any worse than good to soft. I probably imagine it would be good ground. The going description's been good to firm. There could be a little bit of rain at Hereford tonight, but I don't think it should get too much into the ground, and I don't think it will become too testing. And for me, I just think as long as the ground doesn't get too testing, Arty Campbell's got a fantastic chance, and he's been running well of late. And I think at 8-1 with the 4 places on offer with Paddy, Power and Betfair, I'd like to be hoovering that up, and I just think that represents a fair bit of value there. And Arty Campbell, I think he can run another good race at Hereford. Like I said, he's won there on his only start before a couple of years ago, and for me, I think Arty Campbell is a massive player in that race, so that's going to be the selection there. We then stay at Hereford for my nap of the day, which goes in the 2:58, the Mare's Chase, and my nap is going to be Dame de Soir for Brendan Powell and David Bridgewater. You can currently back this horse at 7-4, and I think this mare's got a cracking chance tomorrow. And if you really look at her form last season, it definitely is some of the best in the race. She was very progressive. She was a novice last season. She made the transfer from hurdles to fences and really did appreciate it. She won at the course earlier in the year in January, taking on some of the boys, and that was a nice little novice chase that day. She was fairly in command, and she was definitely a worthy winner. If you look back through some of her other form as well, I think on her chase debut, she took on Midnight Tune of Anthony Honeyballs, who's been a good mare for that yard over the years and has competed in some graded mares races. So she definitely set a good standard that day, and to get within a couple of lengths of her on her chase debut definitely shows she's got a fair bit of ability, and she's rated in the 1 mid-20s, Dame de Soir, and I think that's definitely a very workable handicap mark. Furthermore, if you go back last time to when we saw her at Ludlow, she was arguably going to be a comprehensive winner that day, and she probably had completed the race and hadn't fallen when she was absolutely cruising. She probably would have been rated 130 plus or so. Dame de Soir, you know, she's got a lot of things in her favour. Like I said, she's a previous course winner. She's got some really good chase form. She can go well fresh, and she's very versatile on all kinds of ground. And for me, like I said, I just think her handicap mark is very lenient, and I expect her to still have a few pounds up her sleeve if she's anything like her form from last year. So yeah, for me, Dame de Soir, I expect her to really shorten up tomorrow as we get to post time, and I think she could be as short as even money come the off. So if you still can get 7-4 out there, I definitely think that's a great bet, and I would be disappointed if she can carry on her winning ways and her progressive chasing career from last season. So that is going to be the nap. We then go with my long shot of the day, and I was really surprised when I was looking through this earlier. This was nearly making nap territory, but because of the price, I've put it into the long shot category, and it runs in the 5:35 at Leicester with a horse called Fannie by Gaslight, which is currently 17-2 for Sylvester de Souza and Mick Shannon. I'm going to recommend an each way selection here. Now this horse, the key to this mare is soft and heavy ground, and she's got a fantastic record on it. If you actually look at her career stats on it, she's actually won both her starts on this ground. She was a winner at Goodwood a couple of years ago, and also as well last season at Chester. Now she hasn't really had that ground for a little while, especially not on her 2 runs so far this season. She finished 7th at Chester last time when we saw her, and the 4th place horse came out and won. That was Alpine Minstrel for Sean Keatley at Nottingham last week, so the form doesn't look too bad there. She's dropping in class, and I don't think this is a particularly strong race for a grade 5 contest. We know that she'll be able to handle the conditions. We know she can stay a little bit further as well. So there's a lot of ticks in the boxes. She's also as well very well handicapped now. She's off a mark of 68, and that's £2 below her last winning mark. And like I said, with the conditions being tested tomorrow, also as well the booking of former champion jockey Sylvester de Souza, just think there's a lot in this mare's court tomorrow, and I'd be disappointed if she couldn't give us a really good run for our money. And if she finished outside of the first 3, I would be especially disappointed. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things again in the favour of Fannie by Gaslight tomorrow, and for me that's why she is going to be my long shot. We then go with my next best, which is actually going to be an each way next best tomorrow, in the Wolverhampton 6 o'clock race with a horse called Beatbybeatbybeat. Currently 6-1. You can back it at the moment for Harry Russell, claiming 5. He's riding for his boss, Anthony Britton. Now, Harry Russell, he's been a promising apprentice so far over the last few weeks, especially racking up a few winners. You might remember he did us a favour when he won on Lucky Lodge when we tipped him up to win at Newcastle. And Anthony Britton's stable have been going okay, operating at around about 20% strike rate, so they are in form. And this horse, Beatbybeatbybeat, suggested that a win might not be far off the card. She finished second on her last start a couple of weeks ago at Wolverhampton after a slow beginning out of the gates, and in the end she stayed on really strongly. Now the handicapper has eased her to a mark of 60, and that's now £1 below her last winning mark, which was her which came earlier this year when she won off a mark of 61 at the course. So she's well in, you could say, on ratings now, and with the £5 being taken off by Harry Russell, in essence she's going to be running off a mark of 55. She's got a good draw tomorrow, and if she can get away a bit more alertly, I think she's a dangerous player in this field. I don't think it's the strongest race for the grade, and with her going well at the track, been running well okay this season, the jockey and the yard in good form, a good draw, just a lot to like about the horse's chances tomorrow, and I would be expecting her to probably be vying for favouritism come post time in this race tomorrow. So if you still can get the 6-1 or a price near that, I still think that's incredibly good value. And for me, that's why this 7-year-old mare is going to be my next best of the day. So they're the 4 tips for tomorrow. Quickly just recap them all. In the 12:45 at Hereford, we go with Arty Campbell 8-1 each way, 4 places as the extra tip with Paddy and Betfair. In the 2:58 at Hereford, we go with Dame de Soir as the nap, 7-4 win only bet. In the 5:35 at Leicester, my long shot is Fannie by Gaslight, 17-2 each way. There for Sylvester de Souza and Mick Shannon. And in the 6 o'clock at Wolverhampton, we go with Beatbybeatbybeat for Harry Russell and Tony Britton. Going to be my next best, and I'm recommending an each way bet at 6-1. So they're the 4 tips for tomorrow's racing. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button below for more videos here on my YouTube channel. Also as well, if you're enjoying these videos, please remember to give us a thumbs up. And also as well, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you can do, where my handle is at LuckyLoader15. And if you want to know a little bit more about myself, check out my website, which is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.